Good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic day. And I say good morning when it's actually 4:03 in the afternoon. Well, I work night shift, so in a way, this is my morning. Topic of the day is the same video that I've already done. I just not posted because of my attachment to what I have had to say. The video that I am going to do, I do take very personal. It's basically a truth. What is truth? What truth aligns with? Because I just had a comment from somebody who was telling me Charlie Kirk never said the truth. He said his opinions, and that's all it was. Look, it would have been different if he did have facts. He brought up facts. He brought up statistics that matches everything that he said. And yeah, you could probably do the same thing as the opposite, but it doesn't change the matter that what he said really hit a lot of people, and people don't like the truth. That's also kind of a fact. Some people who lives in a delusional world does not want to hear the truth. They love their comfortable lives, and I take it personal. And the reason why I take it personal is because I lived the life that Charlie Kirk was against. That's the problem. This is what I try to tell people all the time. I've lived on the far leftist side without knowing it, because I was never really in politics. I'm really kind of not, because you still got like I said, you got the radical left and you got the radical right. They want the same thing, is war. They want bloodshed. They want to fight because they think silencing one another will, for some reason, bring the outcome of what they want. And as you can tell throughout history, war has always been around. And yeah, you get a false peace, and then oh boy, here we are again, causing more bloodshed. So is this bloodshed really working? No, and Jesus Christ said that. Put a pin in what I just said. We'll go back to it in a little bit. So I take things personally because I was the one who went to this comfortable lifestyle. I did live a life of adultery, alcoholism, drugs, and I did go against what everybody said because I didn't like it. People says, well, you just don't know what I went through. Please explain to me what you went through, and I'll show you very, very close similarities. Yes, I don't have your perspective. I did not grow up in your household. Your perception, how you perceive things, will probably most likely be different from mine because we are all individuals. However, that does not change truth. Just because you feel a certain way does not erase the truth. Just because your perspective does not line with everybody else's does not erase the truth. All right? There is a fact. There is a truth. What is that? For me, I found Jesus Christ as my cornerstone. And when I found Jesus Christ, boy, did the truth literally reveal himself. I know people want to say, oh, it's just faith. You're just a religious person, this and that. No. Once again, I lived the life that everybody, the world wants to protect. I went around hating the truth, and somehow I thought I had it right. So I lived in my comfortable bubble, doing things that majority of you guys who refuse to acknowledge the truth are doing. What is that? Going to parties, dancing, drinking, drugs, just don't understand moderation. Getting hammered and wasted and messed up, thinking you have every right to do so because it is your freedom to do so. So with all this ignorance that you're doing, not understanding that the reason why the Bible did not approve such things, it does mess with your brain. It does perceive knowledge a certain way, and it does, fact, get your emotions all unhinged. It messes with you logically, emotionally, and you just don't understand the common basic knowledge of the world because you refuse to understand. And I was that person. I thought I knew it all. but yet I still drank my life away. I still combined pills, Oxycontin, and anything that gets you high with alcohol. It was my comfortability. I still wasted my time on brain-rotting games instead of reading books. I slept with whoever I wanted to because it was my right to do so in comfortability. And once somebody called it out and tried to tell me the truth, how it was destroying me, I yelled and argued with them, be like, you don't know, you don't do it, you just... And I'm not trying to mock, I'm mocking myself because that's how I was. This is a self-reflecting moment because, and this is what's going on. So I did a video about Charlie Kirk and speaking how he told the truth, and he did. He brought up statistics. He brought up how DEI was a scam. He brought up how college was a scam. We're wasting a lot of money. You're giving these companies billions and billions of dollars. They are loaded wealthy. And they keep increasing the price of tuition and feeding you garbage. I take it personal because I lived it and I want to bring people out of it. It's not for you. Ever since I found Christ, I've seen the truth. I see what truth is. And that's the point of Jesus. Because under the Roman feet on everybody, I can't think of the word I'm looking for, the Sadducees and Pharisees was along with them. And they did not like, it's a hierarchy mentality the Pharisees and Sadducees had. They spoke all this stuff. They didn't want their people to know the real Torah or understand it, so they teach them their version in word by mouth, what the Torah interprets what they think. They did not do it properly. In fact, that's the whole point of the New Testament, is because everyone of the Old Testament got it wrong. They got it wrong. Always. So Jesus basically got in human form, came down, proved a point. If you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. He fulfilled it. He completed. When he died on the cross, it is finished. He fulfilled the law. He fulfilled the prophets of the Torah. He interpreted properly. Everybody thinks he upped the game. No, he didn't. He just went back to the core root, which was a heart issue that people had. If you can't love your neighbors, you love yourself. What are you doing? Are you really living life properly? And that's the thing that people need to understand and get wrapped around their head, that they did it wrong. And even today, Jesus dined with the sinners, not because they were doing it right, but they were sick. He said, don't a doctor help those who are sick? They don't know. Even Jesus died on the cross when everybody betrayed him, the Pharisees, Sadducees, they crucified him. The Romans participated in doing it because they had to do their law. They had to do their job. And Jesus literally said, forgive them, for they do not know what they do. And they didn't. As people who lives in ignorance, don't know what they're doing. They just doing it because it feels good. C.S. Lewis wrote a book called The Absolution of Man. And it talked about when he was going through life, and I think I mentioned this in one of my videos already, on how people were not discerning feelings and truth. Your perspective, your perception does not show truth. It shows experience that you went through, how you perceive things, but there's a fact that you could just be wrong. And no one wants to admit that they were wrong. Nobody wants to. Apparently, it has been a bad thing. And dude, I'm glad I admit I'm wrong. I'm denying myself daily. And that's why I'm starting these videos, is because I do want to have conversation. If you're going to yell and scoff at me, call me names, I'm not going to really respond and have in-depth conversation with you. We can, if you're willing to hear me out. If you're not willing to hear me out and you just want to throw in, once again, your perception, your perspective of the matter, and trying to once again say, well, that's not the truth, or hate on Charlie Kirk because so many people think he's racist and he was homophobic, transphobic, all these Islamophobic, whatever. And he wasn't. He tried to tell people this is a flaw. It does not logically make sense. You're going to endanger yourself and everybody else. If you're willing to sit down and let's discuss the consequences over the pros, then we'll have a topic about it. And I'm willing to do that with you. But if you want to mock, scoff, yell, scream, whatever, I'm not going to engage in you. We can go live. Once I get to a live position, and we can probably do videos that way. But once your emotion starts getting unchecked, I'm not going to waste my time. You can't see the truth over boiling water. Like, that's the saying, when you're cooking and boiling water, you don't really know what you're cooking. Don't speak literal at me. It's just the saying. You can't see it. It's like pasta. How do you know when pasta's done? Over raging boiling water. Well, most people still have fork it, but the point of the being is, I'm trying to say, it's when the waters are calm that you can start making sense of things. And that's what I'm trying to get at. I'm willing to sit down and discuss things and talk about some matters. If you want to talk about Charlie Kirk, we'll talk about Charlie Kirk. If you want to talk about Jesus, oh man, every day I love to talk about Jesus. Let's discuss him. But there is so much in the world today that people just don't want to change. And I get you. I've been there. I did not want to change. Glory goes to Jesus Christ. I changed the moment I realized I was killing my wife. Hands down. Once I seen how my wife responded when she hugged and kissed me, made me a bed on the couch, told me we'd talk about everything that she's seen on my phone, we'll talk about in the next morning. Clicked. I was drunk, but that moment I sobered. I sobered up quick. I'm killing the woman that really does love me, and the reason why it doesn't seem like it at the time, it's because we were both hurting. Hurt people, and me and my wife, we had so many trauma in our lives, we were hurting each other. And Jesus Christ saved us. My wife came to Christ first and eventually persuaded me to come to Christ. Of course, I had other people try to push me, but in reality, it was my wife who nudged me harder towards Christ, and Christ redeemed us. He saved our marriage. Coming up, we will be married for 10 years, together 11 years. And 7 of those years was not how people think relationship should be. We were living in sin. We was comfortable in our chaotic worldview. And now, the goal is to tell people we were wrong, and that's fact. So there is truth. Truth does not rely on perspective and perception. Truth relies on truth. They are facts. I can bring up those facts statistically, just like Charlie Kirk did, and everybody else who's trying to talk about it. But a lot of people just want to live the life of see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. They just don't want to acknowledge that this world is not your friend. So I pray that people understand this video. If you want to see the raw footage of the original video, I'll gladly post it. My emotions were not checked in that video. I was mocking people. Mainly myself, to be honest, to be clear, I was mocking myself. Is that really Christian-like? I don't know. But it all started that somebody told me to cope harder, saying that what I commented on Michael No's video he did about laws and how our justice systems are messed up. He told me that never happened, cope harder. And it's like, buddy, I don't know if you know me personally, and anybody with acknowledgement of how things work will know my line of work is involving knowing this information. and then you're telling the person who knows their job that they don't know what they're talking about, you're living in delusional. You're living in denial. You don't want to hear people out who's literally, and I get it. There's bad people everywhere. There's corrupted correctional officers, there's corrupted officers, but there's also good. In fact, there's probably more good than evil, but yet you just want to focus on the evil part because it's somehow more exciting. I don't know about you guys. I cannot grow the fruits of the Spirit by focusing on the bad things all the time. I got to focus on the good. I got to focus on what the fruits of the Spirit is. Those who are curious, read the book of Galatians. It talks about the fruit of the spirits: joy, peace, love, self-control, forbearance, endurance, all this stuff, and it will grow fruits. I also believe in order to grow those fruits, you have to be watching it, acting in it, being around people who are like-minded. Build your faith, your courage on the cornerstone, which is Jesus Christ. And then that way you can probably be like Jesus, going to the places that you were once guilty of and bring people out of it. I'm about to go back to bars, but I'm not going to get plastered. I want to talk about the Christ to people. I'm about to go probably to strip clubs to talk Christ about people. I'm going to go to places that I've been in sin to also let people know you can be saved. That's what we're supposed to do. You're supposed to make disciples of all men. Why not start from the places Christ saved you from, so you can rely and abide in Jesus Christ to give you the strength and courage to also go back to those places and bring people out. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. God bless you all. Hope you have a fantastic day. Until next time.